I wondered what this meant to Toko. Though she spoke as though it were trivial, I suspected there was actually some sort of immense meaning behind everything. Did Toko feel that revealing her secrets would be a sign of weakness? Or was it that she couldn't tell me what it was, because we weren't close enough? Either way, I felt vexed. But at the same time, I was admittedly happy that I was probably the first person Toko had spoken to about her goal at the student council. That genuine joy rendered me into a simple creature. I couldn't tell her that I refused to help unless she explained everything to me. If anything, knowing the truth might leave me all the more paralyzed. I was starting to become cowardly. In that case, I would turn a blind eye to the many uncertainties and accept the hand that she was reaching for me. Toko needed my help. I knew that much for sure. If that's what you want to do, Toko, then I'll help. As a fellow member of the student council, as a friend, and I kept my other recent secret as a pledge to help her. Right, I was keeping secrets from her too. Thank you. But I never put on a play before, so I might make a terrible actress. I don't have experience either, so let's practice together. Tuko cracked a smile, one full of almost childish relief. The student council was going to be busy enough working on the cultural festival, in addition to its regular tasks. Adding rehearsal for a play on top of all that seemed like a dizzying amount of work. I couldn't see Kusu-senpai, who already didn't even show up at the student council most days, approving of something that would be such a hassle. And putting on a play with our 5 current members. What could we possibly produce? It was hard to imagine doing it with so few people, especially when we would like to need backstage help as well. Many hardships awaited on the journey towards Toko's dream. Out of curiosity, does our school have a drama club? It does not. So we couldn't even ask for help. In that case, we likely have a hard time getting props together for the performance. The teachers probably wouldn't be much help with the play either. Maybe these were some of the reasons the tradition died out, I thought. Toko smiled patiently. She waited for me. Clearly, she wasn't going to give up so easily. I decided I want to give her the response she was expecting. All right, let's give it our best shot. Though my heart wasn't terribly interested in theatre, it was happy to show its devotion to Toko, however it could. She closed her eyes gently, as though content with my reply. You're so pleasant to be around, Sayaka. I think she was trying to praise me. My own eyes shut, and my body froze in place, as I thought over her words, imagining the sound of insect wings buzzing in the air. Pleasant. Right. I couldn't help wondering if what she really meant was convenient, but perhaps that miserable distortion was just a result of my past experiences. In the latter half of May, after midterms had finished, it was nearly time for us to swap out our seasonal uniforms. We had no events in June, so our work in the student council had reached a lull. One day after school, when I tried to head over to the student council with Tuko as usual, she replied, You can go on ahead, Sayaka. I have to take care of something first. What's with that reaction? Is someone confessing to you again or something? Her shoulders twitched noticeably. Goodness, I was mostly joking. She had just been confessed to about 2 weeks ago. Now she was already getting another one. I suppose it was like how bamboo shoots appear right after rain. At this rate, the whole school's going to have confessed to you. I spoke as though I were joking, but I was slightly jealous. Toko turned her head down and acted as though she were thinking. It'll get awkward if rumors go around that I always reject them the same way. It's quite a novel problem to have. But it would be weird if I had a different reason for each one, too. So I'll reject this one with the same reason as always, her words seemed to imply. I felt relieved, though I didn't say it out loud. Tuko always rejected confessions automatically. I had to wonder what her type was. Maybe her heart really wouldn't be swayed in the slightest, even if she received a confession from every single student in the school, including me. So, if everyone at the school were going to confess to me, would that include you, Sayaka? Her joke was so close to what I had been thinking that I nearly lost my cool. Maybe, but maybe not, since I already know you'd reject me. Joking or otherwise, just saying it out loud made my heart twist in pain. You don't know that. Your confession might just be too charming to turn down. Toko's jest made dreams blossom in my mind. I sorely wanted to go along with it, to put my feelings into words and deliver them to her. But my actual response was to only look up at the sky like a flightless bird. All right then. If you can't find anyone else, that might not be a terrible idea. I prayed at the lie, which was so precarious that it felt like it could topple over even now, told her nothing. Before Toko could reply, an interruption, or perhaps a lifeboat, came to my aid. Then maybe I'll put my hat in that ring too. This time it was my turn to twitch. Manaka stuck her face out from next to me. Behind her, Midori had her hands on her hips, her eyes narrowed in an exasperated expression. You already know how she'll reply, so please just stop. Oh, but you don't actually know that. Manaka sought agreement from Toko, who promptly rejected her with a smile. Sorry. Oh, that was over quick. Told you so. For some reason, Midori seemed smug. Instead of withdrawing, Manaka turned to me. Then maybe I'll try Sayaka. What's that supposed to mean? What do you say? Manaka innocently asked me out. I wonder what would happen if she chose the wrong person and they took her seriously. Then again, it might not have occurred to Manaka that there could be people like that. Sorry. Aww. Manaka slumped with unconvincing disappointment. This is the first time I've been turned down twice in a day. It's no wonder with the way you act. Hmm. Manaka finally pulled back her head and turned to Midori. What about you, Midori? Is that any way to ask? Midori seemed at a loss for words. Finally, she pulled Manaka out of the classroom. Come on, let's just go. But I'm not in the English conversation club with you. Before Manaka could get an answer about where they were going, the pair had disappeared. Once they made their noisy yet casual exit, Tuku remarked. They certainly seem close. They really do. Maybe they were just incredibly compatible. Oh, right, I was supposed to meet that person. Tuku checked the classroom clock and picked up her bag in a hurry. Now that I think about it, they just asked me to meet them. It might not be a confession after all, she added optimistically. Is there anything else you think it could be? Not really. Tuko walked quickly towards the classroom door, and then looked back at me with a promise. as though she were entrusting me with a key. I'll go to the student council room right after it's done, so wait for me. I'll be waiting. I waved quietly and watched her leave.